Buying a new SUV in 2025 feels almost like a rite of passage for American families. SUVs dominate dealership lots, highways, and suburban driveways across the country. They've become the go-to choice for people who want space, comfort, and a sense of safety on the road. But here's the problem. Not all SUVs are created equal. Some are built to last a decade or more with very few problems, while others become a financial nightmare the moment you drive them off the lot. And that's where Consumer Reports comes in. For decades, CR has been the gold standard when it comes to rating cars, because they don't just rely on one person's opinion. They conduct detailed road tests, they look at crash safety results, and most importantly, they collect data from hundreds of thousands of real owners who report back about the problems they've faced. That's how we end up with a reliability score for each vehicle, a number between 0 and 100 that reflects how likely the car is to give you trouble over time. In 2025, several SUVs ended up at the very bottom of that list. These vehicles scored shockingly low in Consumer Reports evaluations, and owners reported a laundry list of issues: transmission breakdowns, electrical glitches, water leaks, poor fuel economy, and even safety recalls. So in today's breakdown, we're going to walk through the 5 worst SUVs you should never buy in 2025. I'll explain why they scored so low, what kind of problems owners have reported, and what alternatives you might want to consider instead. Let's get started. The first SUV on our list is the Ford Explorer. Now, if you've lived in the US anytime in the past 30 years, you know how common the Explorer is. It's one of Ford's most recognizable models, a staple of American driveways, and it sells in huge numbers every single year. On paper, it looks like the perfect mid-size family SUV. 3 rows of seating, decent towing power, and plenty of tech. But when you dig a little deeper, the problems start to appear quickly. Consumer Reports gave the Explorer a reliability score of just 35 out of 100, which is considered well below average. Owners have been complaining for years about transmission failures and clunky gear shifts. Imagine paying $30,000 or $40,000 for a family SUV and then being hit with a transmission repair that costs $5,000 or $6,000. That's a financial punch in the gut. The issues don't stop there. Some owners have experienced engine cooling system failures, which can lead to overheating. Others report problems with the infotainment system, including freezing screens and slow response times. Ford has even issued multiple recalls for the Explorer, including one involving the rear axle and another related to the parking brake that could unexpectedly engage. So while the Explorer is flashy, roomy, and often marketed with big discounts, the reality is that long-term ownership can be a nightmare. If you're looking for a mid-size SUV with fewer headaches, something like the Toyota Highlander or Honda Pilot would be a far safer choice. Both of those consistently score above average in reliability and hold their value far better than the Explorer. Next on the list is a vehicle that has legendary status in off-road circles: the Jeep Wrangler. The Wrangler is the definition of rugged. It's the SUV you see climbing rocks, splashing through rivers, and starring in Jeep commercials that make you want to ditch the city and go live in the mountains. But here's the harsh reality. As an everyday vehicle, the Wrangler is a terrible choice. Consumer Reports gave it a reliability score of only 27 out of 100, putting it near the very bottom of all SUVs tested. The complaints come in waves. First, ride comfort is almost non-existent. Owners describe the Wrangler as loud, bumpy, and exhausting to drive on highways. It's built for trails, not commutes. Then there are the water leaks. Many owners report that during heavy rains, water seeps through the roof seals and drips into the cabin. Some even say they keep towels in the car just to deal with it. Fuel economy is another disaster. Some drivers report struggling to get even 15 miles per gallon, which feels prehistoric in 2025 when many SUVs are hitting the 30-35 mpg range or offering hybrid options. Add to that a reputation for suspension and steering problems, and you've got a vehicle that's exciting on the weekends but frustrating every other day of the week. Now, don't get me wrong. The Wrangler has a fan base that will never give it up, and for pure off-road fun, it's unmatched. But if you're a family in the suburbs or someone commuting to work every day, the Wrangler is likely to leave you regretting your purchase. For a more balanced SUV that still handles adventure, the Toyota 4Runner or even the Subaru Outback offer far better reliability and comfort. In third place, we have the Volvo XC60 Recharge Hybrid. At first glance, this one might surprise you. Volvo has a reputation for safety and Scandinavian style. And the XC60 Recharge looks like the perfect luxury hybrid. Sleek, eco-friendly, and packed with technology. Unfortunately, it's a textbook case of overpromising and under-delivering. Consumer Reports gave it a dismal 21 out of 100, making it one of the worst-rated hybrids on the market. The biggest issues? Electronics and software. Owners have reported constant problems with the infotainment system. Screens freezing, navigation crashing, and even climate controls becoming unresponsive. And in today's cars, when the screen goes down, half the vehicle becomes unusable. It's frustrating, especially when you're paying a premium price. The hybrid system itself is another weak spot. While the plug-in design promises efficiency, the actual electric-only range is unimpressive, and when it switches over to gasoline, fuel economy isn't much better than a regular SUV. That means you're not really getting the benefits of a hybrid the way you would in, say, a Toyota. On top of that, Volvo repair costs are notoriously high. If something electronic fails out of warranty, you're looking at bills that can easily run into the thousands. For buyers who want luxury and hybrid efficiency without the headaches, the Lexus RX Hybrid is a far more dependable option. Moving on to number 2, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. This one stings because the Grand Cherokee has been a mainstay in American driveways for decades. It's positioned as a comfortable, stylish midsize SUV with off-road chops and plenty of features. But when it comes to reliability, it falls flat on its face. Consumer Reports rated the Grand Cherokee between 22 and 26 out of 100, depending on the trim level. Owners consistently report electrical system failures, from glitchy driver assist features to malfunctioning climate controls. Some even describe their vehicles spending weeks at the dealership waiting for fixes. Recalls have been frequent as well. Steering issues, brake malfunctions, and software updates have all plagued the Grand Cherokee in recent years. For a vehicle that often costs well over $40,000, this level of unreliability is simply unacceptable. What makes it worse is the long-term cost of ownership. Even if you manage to keep the Grand Cherokee running without major repairs, depreciation hits hard. Compared to a Toyota or Honda SUV, the resale value drops quickly, meaning you lose money even faster when you decide to sell or trade it in. For drivers who want a midsize SUV with rugged ability, the Toyota 4Runner is a much safer bet. It's not as flashy, but it's practically bulletproof when it comes to reliability. And finally, at number 1, the Volkswagen Taos. If the Grand Cherokee is a disappointment, the Taos is an outright disaster. Consumer Reports gave it an almost unbelievable score of just 18 out of 100, making it the worst-rated SUV in 2025. The Taos is supposed to be Volkswagen's affordable, compact SUV, a smaller sibling to the Tiguan that appeals to younger buyers. But instead, it's become a symbol of cost-cutting gone wrong. Owners complain of engine stalling, brake failures, rough transmission shifts, and poor build quality. Some drivers report rattling noises from the interior after just a few months of ownership, which is unacceptable in a brand-new vehicle. There have also been recalls related to the engine control unit and braking system, raising concerns about safety in addition to reliability. And with resale values already looking weak, the Taos doesn't even make sense as a short-term purchase. If you're in the market for a small SUV, you'd be far better off with a Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Mazda CX-5. All three offer excellent reliability, stronger resale value, and far fewer complaints from owners. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that when you're buying an SUV in 2025, you can't just look at the sticker price or the flashy features in the showroom. You have to think long-term. What's the reliability score? What do actual owners say about living with the vehicle? How much will it cost to repair? And will it hold its value after a few years? The 5 SUVs we covered today, the Ford Explorer, Jeep Wrangler, Volvo XC60 Recharge, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and Volkswagen Taos, all look tempting in their own ways. They have strong brand recognition, appealing designs, and plenty of marketing behind them. But when you peel back the curtain, the reality is full of problems. Instead of dealing with endless trips to the repair shop, Most American buyers will be happier with proven models like the Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, Subaru Forester, Lexus RX, or Toyota Highlander. These vehicles may not always be the flashiest on the lot, but they deliver year after year of reliable performance, lower repair costs, and higher resale values. Because the truth is, a shiny new SUV in 2025 can either be the best investment you make or the worst mistake.